Dog's Life. It's a game where you play as a dog. But not just any dog. Jake the dog. Not that Jake the dog. This Jake the dog. And he's such a lovable little pooch. You can do all sorts of doggy things, like running around, jumping, sleeping, eating, dancing, sniffing, pissing, and yes, even shitting. Nice! Pretty much as soon as you start this game up, he rips ass trying to impress the neighbor's dog Daisy, killing this poor innocent butterfly in the process. Man, what the fuck, Jake? Perhaps my human perspective is getting in the way a bit. I've really got to become one with the dog to truly understand this game's deep themes properly. Dog's Life was another prominent game from my childhood. While everyone else was playing Nintendogs, I was playing this. As well as Nintendogs. I played it all the time, however I wouldn't end up beating it for a couple of reasons. The first being my PS2's laser burnt out not long after I got the game, and I had to wait until Christmas for my PS3 until I could play it again. And the second reason? I'll get to that later on. I vividly remember finding this game for like £4 in the Argos catalogue and begging my mum for it. She caved pretty quickly, and later that day I came out with this copy of the game. As any kid in the mid-2000s would do on the car ride home, I read for the game's manual. I really miss the days when game manuals were actually fun and added to the game. The last game I bought physically was Metroid Dread, and oh boy! Disappointment! Oh, and wouldn't you look, it's my favourite character! Dogs! So after Jake fails to impress Daisy with his ass gas, who could have guessed, Jake witnesses Daisy getting kidnapped by Wayne Rooney and Rocky's brain-damaged younger brother over here.
Feel like a Kentucky Fried Idiot.
And after barking at the truck, he's captured too. Great going, Jake. Daisy's sure to fall for you now, mate. But with the power of plot convenience, Jake is ejected out the back of the truck and begins his hunt for Daisy. Before he can chase after the truck, however, this kid spawns in front of Jake. Not to check if his dog's okay after barreling out of a truck. No, no, no. He gets Jake to race him.
Boy!
Your dog just had stars visibly floating around his head. He could have a concussion or something. Now, I'm no expert, but don't you think you should maybe, well, I don't know, race him to a fucking vet? I'm afraid he's too far gone. We're gonna have to put him down.
Oh, yes!
So Jake travels through Clarksville, Lake Minnewawa, and Boom City to find Daisy and rescue her. While only 3 areas sound small, yeah, you'd be right, but there's about 6 districts in each area, so there's plenty of places for you to explore. Getting to grips with what Jake can do and how he explores his environment shouldn't take you too long, as Jake handles relatively well for a 4-legged character. It's hard to explain, but Jake handles exactly like how you'd expect a movie if you were a dog. He's quite agile and you're able to make quick turns with him, and for the most part, he's very responsive to your button inputs. Aside from when it's time to make a jump. If there's an obstacle too tall, a gap too large, or a drop too deep, Jake will outright refuse to jump by shaking his head. Or he could just leap off like a dolt. Pressing triangle, you'll enter smell-o-vision where you can view the world from Jake's perspective. In this view, you'll be able to see all the smells of the world, and the farmhouse does a pretty good job of showing the player nearly everything they'll need to know to use smell-o-vision effectively. If you've ever played the Batman Arkham games, it's a lot like detective mode, without looking like you're in an Eiffel 65 music video. Any important items are marked with a large orange stink, so you won't be trawling around each map trying to find small, insignificant items. However, you may be trawling around the map trying to find all the scents in an area. While in smell-o-vision, 4 different coloured scents will pop up all around the map. They'll only be visible once you're close enough to them, and thankfully the smaller numbered ones are usually in close vicinity to each other, but the 50 purple ones are spread out all across the map. Some of these can be pretty damn hidden, so you'll be finding yourself stuck on 49 roaming around the map trying to find the last one quite frequently. Your reward for collecting all the scents depends on the colour. Most of the time you'll get a chance to take part in a different minigame with another dog in the area, like tug-of-war, racing, digging challenges, and even a literal pissing contest. Once you become the dominant dog, Jake will be able to possess the other dog Mario Odyssey style, allowing him to solve puzzles and get to places he couldn't before in his own body. Throughout the game, you'll get to play as all your favourite dog breeds, like the Dalmatian, the Border Collie, the Boxer, the Husky, the Mutant, the Mutant!
Oh shit!
All the dog models in this game look fairly decent, but this one... What is this? What is this? Is this what happens when you don't recycle your old newspapers? If you do manage to collect all 50 of the purple cents, you'll earn yourself a bone. In this world, there is a bone hierarchy. If you ain't got no bones, you are a certified chump. You're gonna need a lot of these if you plan on beating this game. 90 in fact, so you best get to sniffing them out. You can find them all over the place. You can dig them up, you can find them in bins, you can shoot some hoops. Or just out in the open, which is the equivalent of finding 20 quid on the street. You can also get bones from helping your everyday twit, as everyone just happens to be carrying a bone with them at all times, just in case a random street dog comes along and fixes their broken marriage or something.
I can't deliver the mail. That terrier is a psycho dog.
Get your fucking life together, you miserable f***.
Nearly everyone is an absolute brainlet in this game, especially this dude.
I ain't been the same since that tree fell on my head.
Everyone you meet has a problem, and they ask you, a random street dog they've never met, to solve it for them. Have you ever tried asking your dog to do anything? You'll be lucky if they even acknowledge your existence.
Hey Millie, I'm about to head out. Can you pass my keys?
There's a mission where you have to help this girl build a snowman, right? And you have to gather all the parts for her. Bear in mind, all the parts are in pretty close vicinity to her. Lazy bitch.
Can you find some more coal, please?
Coal! And you have to watch her slowly place each piece on this thing. Each and every time. You know what? F*** your snowman.
Fuck you, bastard.
So your main objective is to rescue Daisy, while helping out strangers on your travels. But why was Daisy kidnapped in the first place? Well, meet Miss Peaches. She produces cat food, and everyone in this world worships the ground she walks on. You'll hear her voice a lot throughout the game through various radio stations. It's sort of like how in Borderlands 2, Handsome Jack will taunt you throughout the game.
I will pay you to kill yourself.
But unlike Jack, Miss Peaches isn't likable. She's just a cunt. Also, one of the radio stations is deadass just called Talking Pussy.
Hello, 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 and welcome to Talking Pussy.
Talking what?
Pretty pussies everywhere.
So you start your adventure off in Clarksville, which is set in the countryside. As a country boy myself, Clarksville was always one of my favourite areas, and there's some really nice places here to run around in, like the watermill and the big field. You'll then catch a train to Lake Minnewawa, a ski resort. I always enjoyed snowy environments in games, so I like the aesthetic of this area, but I hate that the cold makes Jake's health decrease faster. The more you run around, Jake will slowly lose health. You can't die, but Jake will begin to move slower until he's plodding along. You can regain health by doing what a dog does best. Eating everything. You can find food on the street, or you can beg humans for it by performing tricks, which you do by using the D-pad.
Ugh, you smell. Don't get too close to me.
And if they refuse... And the final area of this game is Boom City, which reminds me of Wolverhampton. And Wolverhampton is a shithole. I'd also like to point out there's a mission in this game where a criminal is hiding out on a balcony, and if you run up to him, he'll just shoot you.
Don't come any closer or you'll be sorry.
Peggy 3.
Who's there?
Whoa, what the hell was that? Jake, you need to step up your game, mate. You're over here whining about a 2-foot drop, and this Chad over here can jump up multiple stories. Okay, fair play, mate. Come here, come here. So once you have enough bones to get past the dog catcher, you can enter the dog pound, and holy fuck, what a tonal shift. First we're running around carefree in grassy fields, and now we're in what can only be described as Birmingham.
I live in a shithole. Do you know what I mean? Birmingham is a fucking shithole. I hate the fucking place.
This is the second reason why I never beat this game. Not because it reminded me of Birmingham, but because the area freaked me out so much, I just stopped playing the game. Completely. I said fuck it and went back to Toy Story 3. It's here where it's revealed that Miss Peaches has been ordering these two bumblefucks to gather all the dogs they can find so she can slaughter them and turn them into cat food. And if you thought it couldn't get any more fucked up, there are some really weird sexual undertones with Miss Peaches' infatuation with Daisy. She's got a framed photo of her, you can practically hear her flooding the room as she talks about slicing and dicing her up.
Sliced, diced, and mashed by the big machine.
Miss Peaches, are you alright, love? So we're showing some familiar faces who've been captured and... No, you can stay. After rescuing the only two dogs there's only two, the dog catcher basically says fuck it and goes to pursue his dreams.
A program in computer games.
Probably went on to create Don't Shoot the Puppy or something.
No.
And then you can go inside. Once inside, holy fuck, look at this place. It's a mess. If you're gonna have a room where you're gonna slaughter dogs, the least you could do is pretty the place up, you silly cow. So this is the big machine, huh? Oh, and there's Daisy. She doesn't look all too alarmed. In fact, she looks pretty chill heading towards those saw blades. Once you've rescued her, Jake and Daisy fall in love and it's a happily ever after. Until Miss Peaches appears with her super shotgun.
Get your doggy asses into the big machine.
Peggy 3.
Jake rips ass one last time, which causes Miss Peaches to fall into the big machine, where she then gets sliced, diced, and mashed up into cat food.
Miss Peaches is
Dead. She's fucking dead!
Peggy 18.
A short epilogue is shown for some of the characters, and then that's it.
See you next time.
But when, Jake? When is next time? Now, I ain't gonna pretend like Dog's Life is the greatest game ever made or anything, but it's certainly got its charm. It's sort of like Super Mario 64. But if Mario was a dog, it does start to get a bit repetitive after a while, and hunting for all the scents can get quite tiring when you just can't find that last one. However, it's made up for by all the strange and colourful characters you'll meet on your journey, who are all voiced by the same guy, Kerry Shale. This poor pianist just wants to play songs for everyone, and they ain't half bad, but everyone just pelts this poor git with tomatoes.
That's odd. Now I feel this strange urge to put on a dog collar.
I did not need to know that, mate. Fire away, fellas! There's definitely a level of polish that's missing from this game. As mentioned before, most of the dog models look fine, and for the most part, so do the humans. Wait a second, is that Mark Facebook?
Mark, give me the Zuck.
Everyone's got that Sonic Heroes plastic model look going on, but it's nothing distracting. What is distracting, however, is the audio. I mean, for the most part, it's fine, but it seems like a lot of basic sound effects just aren't present. Jake doesn't even have a running sound. Ah, no worries, little buddy, I'll fix that for you. I recommend you try A Dog's Life if you're looking for a short, sweet, and sometimes horrific game that you can just sit back and relax with. There's nothing majorly taxing about it, and you may end up finding something you really enjoy. That's why I like these sort of games, you know? They're not masterpieces, but they usually have some unique aspects to them, and you may end up finding a hidden gem. This game also has an excellent soundtrack to go along with it too, composed by Alistair Lindsay.
Hello.
He's composed for games like Jet Force Gemini, Connectimals, and RimWorld. Oh, and he's British too. There's some really pleasant instrumental pieces here, with great use of the acoustic guitar, pianos, and strings. Watermill, Station, and Park are big highlights. However, the standout track for me is Big Field. Nearly all the tracks are replayed throughout the game, but this one only plays here. It's a simply beautiful track, yet somewhat bittersweet. It's an incredibly nostalgic and emotional one for me too. I absolutely love these strange creatures. They all have such distinct personalities, and I couldn't imagine living my life without 1, 2, or sometimes even 3 of them by my side. Remember to cherish the moments you share with your dogs. They're not around for long, but you'll remember them for a lifetime. Yeah, this video is basically just an excuse to make a video about my dogs.